The Indiana High School Boys State Basketball Tournament. Game number 1, it's TV3's Game of the Week. The Connersville Spartans, Fortville's Mount Vernon Marauders meet in the sectional opener. It's the Game of the Week on TV3. From the world's largest high school gymnasium, welcome to the TV3 Game of the Week. Hi everybody, with Ron Wiley, this is Fran Schumlin. We are at the 9,000-seat Newcastle Fieldhouse and minutes away from the game between the Connersville Spartans and Mount Vernon Marauders, located in Fortville. Ron, it's the opening game of the sectional and the most important game of the season to date.
Absolutely. Those 24 games that were before that definitely without question mean nothing now. We were 23-1, had quite possibly we had the greatest season in history. But now, again, that's all for naught. Kerry preaches every year, this is when it really begins here at sectional.
These two teams met January 27th at Fortville, and it took 4 overtime periods before the Spartans won by 3 points, 88-85. That was one of the 23 games won by the Spartans, whose regular season record of 23 wins and just 1 loss, as Ron said, was a CHS history-making season. However, tonight it will be the sectional, and the Spartans must win this ball game to continue on. Mount Vernon, a formidable opponent. They have won 14 games and losing 8. Both teams played Pendleton, Shelbyville, Newcastle, Greenfield, Riceville, and New Palestine. Mount Vernon won over all those teams except Pendleton. They lost 66-52. The Spartans beat all these 6 teams. Connersville's only loss was to Portage, 69-56 during a tourney December 27th at Richmond. Right now we are pausing for the playing of the national anthem.
Basketball Sectional 9 Tournament featuring the Mount Vernon Marauders and the Connersville Spartans. And now it is time to put these riders and remove your hats as the Newcastle Saxophone Choir, consisting of Ben Smith, Joe Garvin, Sidney Hedges, Brandy Burgess, Jared Weaver, Spencer Stewart, Devin Seward, and David Wilkinson perform our national anthem.
Rendition by students of Newcastle High School. Ron?
Yeah, the saxophone, great rendition of the national anthem. Get you pumped up and ready to go for this game.
They had the starting lineup.
Yes, for the Connersville Spartans, for the Mount Vernon Marauders, they are led by 6'2" senior Michael Erdl. He's number 12. Logan Smith's a 6'1" junior. He's number 13. James McLeod's a 6'5" senior. He's number 21. Dimitri Gatewood is a junior. He's 6 foot. He's number 33. He's at the other guard position. And Eric Shepard's a 6'6" senior. number 42. And as you see the Spartans right there, they are led by Garrett Silcott. He's a 6-foot junior. He's number 12. Noah Belt's a 6-foot sophomore. He's number 30. And in the front court for the Connersville Spartans, they're led by 6'6" senior, number 40, Grant Smith. At one of the forward positions, Bo Isaacs, the 6'4" senior, number 52. And rounding out the lineup for the Spartans in the center position is 6'3" senior, number 50, Dalton Huffman.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Mount Vernon being introduced right now to the crowd here at the Newcastle Fieldhouse. These guys from Fortville are wearing their road gray uniforms with white numerals. The Spartans are the home team, so they'll be in their home whites with the red trim. When you look at your screen, all those people in the top half are from Connersville.
Yeah, we kind of see, we kind of extend to the left a little bit as well. You see the student section with their back to Mount Vernon, and heck, we're over to the left of the camera on this side, so we're filling up this place. Newcastle loves when Connersville comes to town.
Should be a great ball game, and the winner of this game will move on to meet Richmond in a game Friday night at 6 o'clock here at the Newcastle Fieldhouse. The second ball game tonight has Pendleton Heights meeting Greenfield Central. And the winner of that game will be playing Newcastle in the second game on Friday night. Those two winners advance to the championship game Saturday night at 7:30. The Spartans are the defending champion. That's the roar you hear.
Yeah, what a great electric, we're feeling it here as if we're in the bowl.
Connersville being introduced. Connersville goes into this ball game averaging 58.4 points a game. Mount Vernon's offensive average is 66.4. Defensive averages, the Spartans' opponents scored an average of 46 points a game, and Mount Vernon's defensive average is 59.9. Those are the Connersville fans cheering as the starting five is now being introduced. That's Silcott, Belt, comes Isaacs.
Yeah, rounding up the lineup, Bo and Dalton and Grant seniors.
Dalton Huffman, and here comes number 40, Grant Smith. The officials for tonight's ball game are Ken Washam, Kurt Sandling, and Rick Oliver. Well, the opening is over, and the beginning of this ball game is seconds away.
Yeah, we went to 4 overtimes. I mean, that game was an outstanding game on Mount Vernon's floor. Last year, Mount Vernon came into the sectional maybe just the smidge of the favorite. I think they were the favorite last year. They got knocked out their first game against Newcastle in a very hard fall game. We, of course, had the bye, beat Greenfield Central, then beat Newcastle. Again, this is a longer, if we want to win the section, we have to win 3 games as opposed to 2. We need to win this one right now, or otherwise 23-1 means nothing.
Number 42 jumps for Mount Vernon. He is Eric Shepard, 6'6". Jumping center for Connersville, number 40. That's Grant Smith. He's also 6'6". Both boys are seniors. Tip controlled by Connersville. Here's Silcott moving in quickly into front court. The Spartans will set up their play. They've been a 2-3 offense right now. Let's see what happens as they will have the first shot at the basket. Silcott drives down, shot missed, tipped up.
Rebound.
Garrett rebounds, flips out to Smith, over to Isaacs, now to Belt. Here's Smith, the jumper. It will hit the rim and drop off, and rebounding is Mount Vernon. So the Spartans' first 2 shots not good in this ball game.
Yeah, Mount Vernon, of course, a very fast defense. I mean, they give up a lot of points on the defense, but boy, they're very fast.
Shot from the corner by Mount Vernon, missed. Smith grabs the rebound, brings it up court.
Good.
Tries to pass off to Huffman. There's a loose ball picked up finally by Mount Vernon. A turnover against the Spartans as a Marauder drives in, misses on the shot, but tipped up and in.
Yeah, the Spartans.
Number 21 scores, McLeod. He averages 12 points per game for the Marauders.
Yeah, Spartans definitely need to slow it down a little bit. You know, those first 2 possessions,
Yes.
just, you know, a lot of nerves. Again, it's different when you come into the sectional as the team that is hunted as opposed to the hunter, and we're the hunted.
Smith with the ball for Connersville behind the free throw circle. Man-to-man defense being used by Mount Vernon. It's a little floater shot attempted by Silcott, missed, and the ball knocked away. It will be out coming up on Silcott, pushing foul.
Yeah, just not a good, you know, offensive series for the Spartans so far. Fran, as we're, you know, a minute and a half in the game, we've had 3 offensive series and just not been able to do anything. Got the glass a few times on that first possession, but nothing to show for it.
Spartans fall back on defense. Here's a shot by Mount Vernon, missed. Isaacs rebounding Connersville. Up court quickly is Smith. Feeds off to Silcott, out to Isaacs. Thought Bo was going to take a shot.
Yeah, I did too.
Not. Goes over the belt.
Now again, this defense is a very good defense, very physical. I mean, Mount Vernon is known for their physicality.
Now they're using a man-to-man defense, and so far, so good for them.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Smith driving down along the baseline, feeds off belt, 3-pointer on the way, off the front rim, fight for the rebound. Mount Vernon wins that battle.
Yeah, that, you know, can't stress that enough. I mean, if you give yourself an extra rebounder.
Jumper from the free throw lane is good by 21, and that's McLeod. He has all their 4 points, doesn't he, Ron?
Yes, he does, and they're, you know, within 5 feet. So, you know, we got to stop that guy from getting inside like that.
That's
Those
right.
are some easy shots and easy baskets.
There's the ball work into Isaacs. A whistle as a pushing foul going to be called on Mount Vernon.
Yeah, looks like Logan Smith probably going to get the call on that. Yes, he is.
Number 13 picks up the foul at the ball put in play. It was a non-shooting foul.
Sullenberger is in. He's a deep threat, of course.
Sullenberger in for Connersville as Belt goes to the bench. Inbounding the Spartans are into the court. Shot by Sullenberger is missed. Up over the backboard and it's out of bounds to Mount Vernon.
You know,
Spartans cannot find that basket, Ron.
And you know, we've seen them like this before. I mean, you know, and we had a 4-point game not too long ago where we had a 4-point quarter. To start the ball game, we finally got revved up. Again, this is sectional time. It's time to get revved up now.
Here's a jumper from the free throw lane by number 12. That's Michael Erdl. He scores 20 points a game, and the Spartans fall behind 6-0. The ball knocked away, intended for Isaac, batted out of bounds by a Mount Vernon defender. Connersville ball at their end of the court.
Carey's got to be thinking about maybe a timeout here soon.
Silcott over to Smith, back to Garrett, drives down along the baseline, works the ball underneath, attempts to work underneath to Huffman, and the ball knocked away by a Mount Vernon defender.
I thought number 12 for Mount Vernon. I thought, you know, Erdl there committed a foul, but apparently the Zebras didn't see it.
Here's Belt coming back in, and Huffman will go out for Connersville. Meanwhile, a towel is being used to wipe off the basketball a little bit. Now we're ready to go. Silcott will inbound for Connersville. Spartans having trouble solving this defense of Mount Vernon.
Yeah, it's a big riddle.
Ball comes deep into Sullenberger.
Yeah, I mean,
Smith.
You know, we've seen this team before, and we were able to eke it out, you know, 4 overtimes. So, you know that they're going to come with the intensity, and you know there is going to be a run in each ball game. We just got to start running ourselves, and you know, being down 6-0 almost halfway through this quarter, you know, you start sweating a little bit. But you know, watching the boys right now, they don't
Smith
look like
backing his
sweating
way
at all.
toward the basket. Finally banks one in. First 2 points of the ball game for Connersville.
Yeah,
Smith.
You talk about muscling your way in, Fran. That's what Grant did right there.
And now here's Mount Vernon and getting a shot from the free throw lane. A turnaround layup put up and in by McLeod.
Yeah, that guy needs to be stopped. As you see Grant muscling in right there. And you know, McLeod came back and did the same thing as Bo shooting for 3.
Isaacs tries a 3, which is missed, but Isaacs gets the deep rebound. Here is Smith, and he hits a 3 for Connersville.
Yeah, Yeah, right there. Grant had that all day long, and you're going to give him that much time, he's going to get it. He's getting fired up, and the faithful here at the field house, they're getting fired up as well.
Spartans within 3, Mount Vernon with the ball. Good ball handling crew, this Mount Vernon team.
Yeah, they are a good ball handling
Don't make
team.
too many mistakes, Ron.
Not at all. Very fast
There's a
as
shot.
well.
Attempted foul called on Connorsville.
I think Bo's going to get called on that.
I think so.
Oh no, they're getting Sollenbarger on that.
That's right.
Yeah, Bo was jawing with the zebra there. Not sure, he thought maybe the call was on him.
First foul. Second foul on Connorsville. Here's the free throw, which is missed by the Mount Vernon boy.
Yeah, right there as he went inside. Yeah, you can see where he had the foul. Sollenbarger.
This is Eric Shepard at the line for the Marauders. Missed his first attempt. He'll try a second one. Roar goes up from the Connorsville fans as he's facing some of them as he fires it up and in from the free throw line. That's their 9th point. They're up by 4. Here comes Connorsville.
Again, we may be sweating a little bit being down 4, but our boys, they look calm, cool, and collected.
Silcott over the belt. Now Isaac. Belt on the far side, drives the lane. Feeds to Silcott. Isaac. And to Smith. Grant backs his way toward the basket. Ooh, tries a little jump shot, which is missed.
Oh, I didn't say, where's the foul?
The rebound. He was held a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought
like,
so.
No foul called.
There we go.
Here's Silcott driving. That's what the Connorsville fans want to see is Garrett Silcott find an opening and driving in and laying it up.
Yeah, again, we've seen it all year long. We've seen it his 3-year career here, Fran. That guy will just drive it anytime.
Shot
there was a
by
push off.
Vernon missed. Teammate grabs the rebound, and that is Dick Morris scoring.
Okay, Morris came out of nowhere.
That's right. He was under the basket in the right place when the ball came off the rim and put it up and in. Down by 4, the Spartans. And it stays 4 as Smith tries a 3, which was missed. Rebounding is Mount Vernon. Spartans not rebounding well.
No, not at all. That's the difference of this ball game. We're not getting any rebounds at all.
This is driving and laying it up and in. Nice shot put up by McLeod. He has 8 points of this ball game, and his team is up by 6.
We need to definitely get a couple scores here in this last minute and a half.
It matches the biggest lead of the ball game. There's a steal by Mount Vernon, driving down, and nice block by Connorsville Smith.
That right there can get you fired up as Grant just did the swat away.
To Belt.
Boy, that was a great play from Grant right now. We need to turn it into some points right now. So there's a foul right there. That's going to be on. Yeah, I saw that.
A foul called.
Yeah, watch this right here. What a beautiful swat there from Grant. That was beautiful. Wow. Remind me of watching you, Fran, back in the day.
Oh, sure. Yeah, foul called on Mount Vernon's number 33. That's Gatewood. Non-shooting foul. Smith will inbound for Connorsville.
One thing we're seeing so far, Fran, it looks like the Zebras will let these boys play because I saw that foul right there from Gatewood. He fouled at least 3 times before they called it.
Just a little over a minute remaining in the opening period, and the Spartans trail. They do have the ball. Pass goes into Silcott. To Belt. Back to Silcott. Driving down, Belt.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, nice move by the sophomore for the Spartans.
Noah Belt's been doing that a lot more here as the season progressed. He was a downtown threat, and he still is, but sometimes that kid, when he gets inside and goes, he's going to go, and he went right there.
He went around the defender and left him standing flat-footed and put it up and in.
I like that. We need more of that from Noah. We get Garrett driving, Noah driving, and the power inside from Huffman and
Spartans down 4, and Mount Vernon will
take the last shot.
Right, as the clock ticks down to 12 seconds. See what the play will be. 8 seconds, 7.
You need to stop him right here. because we'll get the
Let's
ball.
see. They're driving down number 42.
Oh, beautiful.
Misses the shot, rebounding Connersville just as the buzzer sounds. And we have played the first 8 minutes of this ball game here in the section opener at Newcastle. And it is a lead of 13-9 as Mount Vernon's Marauders have the early lead in this ball game.
Yeah, they took that 6-0 lead, and that right there is the biggest difference, is the 6-0 lead that they had. Otherwise, we'd be up 9-7. Again, we got to make sure that when we get inside, we're able to execute, and we also have to make sure that what we need to do is being able to get some glass. We haven't been able to get glass all game.
Yes, they had 2 6-point leads in the ball game. Right now it's 4 as Kerry Brown talking to the Spartans, has the grease board out, drawing up a play.
Yeah, definitely the Spartans just need to get going, get rolling. You know, it would help again if we would be able to, you know, get the rebounds. And you mentioned it earlier, Fran, we were able to get the rebounds a lot during the season. And, you know, that was our strong suit. We just haven't been able to get the boards right now. Again, a lot of ball game to go, 13-9. Our boys ain't sweating it.
Let's see what changes the Spartans may make as they will try to stop this Mount Vernon team from grabbing so many rebounds.
Yeah, Mount Vernon's a very, very fast team. Again, very physical. We know that. We played them already this year on their floor in a hostile environment. Right now, we're pretty much, you know, we might as well call us the home team.
Okay, it will be Mount Vernon ball since the Spartans won the opening tip.
That's right. I totally forgot that.
Come the Marauders in gray traveling uniforms here. Number 12 fires long, rims one, but a teammate grabs the rebound. He misses. Fight for the rebound, won this time by Connersville. A collision of players as Noah Belt is knocked to the floor.
Yeah, that's right. Again, very physical game so far, and you know Noah's going to feel that one throughout the game, or definitely after the game when his adrenaline stops.
No foul on the ball game, just on anybody, just the official rules the ball out of bounds to Connersville.
Oh, he did? Wow, okay. That's yeah,
they
totally
stopped play momentarily. Belt was decked, and, and the fellow that knocked him down from Mount Vernon showed good sportsmanship. He helped him up.
Yeah.
Here's Smith up close, turn it around, shot good. Brad Smith.
You know, Grant, I tell you what, getting inside, you know, powering his way right there. Again, talk about muscling.
Spartans trail by 2, and Mount Vernon on the attack. Shot is a 3. Put up and in by one of their little guards. Who was that, Ron?
Logan Smith.
Okay, thank you. Puts his team up by 5. Underneath, Connersville works the ball. Huffman.
Yeah, I thought there was a
foul batted away by the Mount Vernon boys, so Connersville will keep possession.
Yeah, the Spartan faithful were just wondering why there wasn't a reach-in foul right there earlier. Yeah, the Spartans definitely need to score right here, you know, being down 5. There's another away from the ball foul.
Oh, right. Let's see what this is all about.
There's a lot of those going on today so far.
Holding foul being called.
That's Ertle's second.
Number 12, right. He's their leading point maker at 20.8. Spartans inbound, trailing by 5. Here's Smith trying a shot way off the mark.
Yeah, there's a foul right there.
Here's another foul. Dalton. This one will be called on Connersville.
Yeah, this one will be on Dalton right there. Yeah, not a good shot there from Green. He knew it as soon as he let go of that. But, you know, that's not going to stop him from taking the shots when open.
Mount Vernon ball. Come the Marauders. They bled in this ball game all the way through. We're in the second period of play. Number 12 fires one, which is short. Teammate grabs the rebound again, Ron. They're just getting the boards, and wonder how many points they scored controlling the boards.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. I mean, they're able to get, you know, again, it's just basic fundamental. They're you know, boxing out. They're following their shots. We're not doing that. We're not again, if you want to teach kids how to, get the rebound, you watch our film. I mean, we've done that throughout the year so well. We're just not doing it right now. Again, a lot of ball game to go. Down 7. We've been down 7 before. Got it to 2. Need to start, picking it up right now. Got to box out.
Timeout period right now. The Spartans called it. It's over, and play about to be resumed. It seems like Mount Vernon always has a fellow under the basket when they shoot.
Right.
And that's good basketball.
Yeah, that's definitely good basketball.
When it comes off the rim, a missed shot, there's a guy to grab the rebound and put it up and in.
Yep. I mean, that's if you're going to shoot from outside, make sure you have your bigs underneath it. And if your big is going to shoot, make sure you have a couple of guys underneath it, so that way you can, do some boxing out and get the rebounds. And they've been doing it perfectly tonight, Mount Vernon. Smith
and Silcott up court. Smith drives the baseline, tries a shot, miss. He was fouled. He'll be up the line for 2 free throws. Livingston's foul will be on.
Got to make the free throws.
Number 20, Metters.
That's right there. 42 got him as well. Shepard.
Here is Smith trying a free throw. First one is good. Spartans 12 points. They trail by 6. Here's Smith with his second try.
Good job.
9 points for Grant Smith. He averages 18 a game. Here come the Marauders. Driving down, crashing into a couple of Spartans. Shot missed. Fight for the rebound.
Wow.
Finally won by Connersville. Isaacs and Silcott teamed up to win that rebound for Connersville.
Again, got to start getting the boards, and when we get the boards, again, turn them into points. Right now, we just cannot not afford to not score each and every time we get down there.
Smith drives down, stops, shot way off the mark.
Bo's going to take that. That's there.
A rebound. It is missed, and Mount Vernon rebounding.
How many times have you seen Bo miss from a shot like that when he was wide open?
Here come the Marauders, working with a 5-point lead, and it is an 8-point lead. As Logan Smith puts a 3 up and in for the Marauders. 21-13, Spartans down here in the opening half of this ball game.
It's not like we're playing very bad. I mean, Mount Vernon's just playing a little bit better. They're at another level that we're not, and we've just been able to get out of second gear. I mean, we're still stuck in that rut right now. And it's not like they're, blitzing us. It's just we're not,
Smith tries one, which is good. Isaacs tries one, which is good. Isaacs hits a 3 for Connersville.
Yeah, again, he, needs to start getting hot right there. Bo does. Well, that guy's had a career, Bo Isaacs.
There's a falling down, but scoring on a shot from the lane is number 13, Smith, for Marauders, and he has 8 points. His team's up 23-16. Here's Silcott with the ball for Connersville. Over to Smith, underneath to Silcott. Nice feed from Smith to Silcott as he drives the lane. Silcott with 4.
Again, we got to stop them. I mean, they've come down the last few times, able to score. We got to have a stop.
They got an open shot from the side. Good, a 3. Boy, Marauders are firing from long range and hitting.
Yeah, that just means we got to match them right here and maybe not get a 3, but we do definitely have to score. Bo's going to get it right there. It is. No.
Isaac's shot is missed. And rebounding.
Nobody under the basket.
There were 3 Marauders under that basket when that shot was missed, and they grab the rebound and come down and miss a shot. Huffman grabs the rebound. Connersville. Smith up court, crashes into a player, goes in for a shot, missed. He was fouled.
Grant went in there. He wasn't going to stop at all. He was hoping to get the hoop, but didn't. Got the foul, and he's at the line for 2. Again, have to make every free throw.
Smith will have a couple of free throws coming. Grant Smith.
Oh, man.
First one is missed. Sullenberger comes in. Huffman goes out for Connersville.
Our free throws, have been good at times, and then our free throws have been bad at times. There's not really been, as consistent as we would like.
Smith ready for his second free throw try. This one is good. 7-point lead for Mount Vernon.
Again, it just seems like we've been down 6-7 so many times. We try to get it back, and then Mount Vernon just goes on a tear and, just keeps us at bay. It's
Spartans have to start
stopping
them from scoring.
Yeah, I mean that Mount Vernon Marauder right there. I mean, he went after his shot. And,
yes, followed through.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do. Follow your shot. Now we're at the line each time now, have to score.
A foul called on Mount Vernon, and that's their 7th.
Yeah.
And Smith will be at the line.
Yeah, watch the Marauder come in here right now. I mean, just look at that. That's just hustle. I mean, we're getting out and hustled right now. Got to make this shot.
Here's a free throw and a bonus. If he makes the first one, he'll get a second attempt, and he does. Spartans down by 6 points with just under 3 minutes remaining to be played here in the second quarter. Second free throw is good. 12 points for Grant Smith. Spartans have 21, down by 5, and it will be Mount Vernon ball.
Yeah, we definitely, again, have to stop here.
Dalton Lee, 22 in the game for Connersville.
That gives us an extra defensive bite right there with Dalton. And again, we're at the line each and every time they foul. We still have 4 fouls to give before we put them at the line.
Spartans, man-to-man defense. Here's the guy getting free and missing on the shot, but he was fouled by Isaacs, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to call Isaacs or they're going to call
Dalton on both.
Yeah, I wasn't sure right there. As you see, I mean, good move right there. Right there, reach in from Dalton. Just a nice move there from Shepard.
There's a free throw shooter. Good. Number 42's at the line. That's Eric Shepard, who averages 14.9 points a game. There's his second free throw coming up. Drops this one in. Spartans down again by 7 points. Smith drives the baseline.
That's not good.
Tries to feed the ball off. Almost, well, knocked out of bounds by the Marauder. Almost a steal by Mount Vernon boy. The lead comes out of the game. Sullenberger comes in for Connersville.
We're not playing with authority right now, Fran. I mean, we're not. We're just not. Again, we're still stuck in that second gear, and we're getting out hustled by Mount Vernon. I mean, that's just the story of this half right now.
Isaacs the ball out to Belt. Now Silcock starts to drive in. Good defense by this Mount Vernon crew all night long.
Yeah, very good defense.
Made the Spartans really work for their shots. Sullenberger in the corner. He likes to shoot from there, but he will not this time.
Again, very good defense. He likes it from there.
There
it is.
Fire one, which will be off the mark. And again, another rebound by Mount Vernon. Up court, loose basketball. What's the official going to rule?
That's going to be a foul on Bo.
Foul on Bo Isaacs. It's so.
Yeah, they got a foul on Bo. The faithful not liking that at all.
There's a fight for the basketball.
Yeah, look at that right there. I mean, nice hustle, and thought maybe the ball may have went out of bounds, but nice. Yeah, they called Bo on that for holding.
The officials will use a towel to wipe up a damp spot on the floor, and it will be Mount Vernon ball. Marauders put it in play, goes to Ertl.
Yeah, that
cross court.
That right now Mount Vernon is they're minute and 20 to go. They're at a point where they're they just want to maybe eat some clock, throw it around a little bit.
Right, that's obvious what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Here's a player backing toward the
That's
basket.
beautiful. That's
Moved between a couple of Spartans. Went in for the shot. Shepard. Not sure how he did that, but he did it.
Yeah, he did. There's Smith.
He scored that one.
Travis Grant.
So Grant Smith puts one in for the Spartans. Under a minute left to play in the first half. Marauders will hold for a final shot, we're sure. They're up by 7 points.
Again, Mount Vernon, the story of this half so far is the fact that they've just been able to get the boards, and you know they've played with authority. They played like they.
I agree. Rebounding has certainly made the difference in this ball game.
Yeah. You know, you almost welcome the half so we can get in there, get adjusted.
Spartans trying to prevent a shot here in the final seconds of the first half of this sectional opener at Newcastle.
Yeah, I'd love to see us force a turnover.
Happy to have you with us on the TV3 game of the week. And there's foul number 4, fouling the 3. That's Erdl, their leading point maker. And at the end of the first half of this ball game, it's a 10-point lead for Mount Vernon over Connorsville, 33-23. In that second 8 minutes of play, Mount Vernon scored 20 points, and the Spartans scored 14. Ron will have some scoring here in just a second, and we'll talk about this ball game, Ron. But,
do we have to?
I think so, but
just a terrible half. You know, the Spartans played. I mean, defensive. We've just been out hustled. I mean, we've seen the boys play defense much better than this. We've been able to, you know, out hustle, out muscle the other teams. We've played with a mission. Right now, we're not looking like we're playing with authority. You see a future Spartan net right there. She doesn't even want to look at the camera right now. She wants us to come back in, and I believe we will. Carrie's a master adjuster. Carrie knows what moves need to be made, and he'll make them. You know, again, right now we need to be able to get the glass. We need to be able to put ourselves in position to be able to get the glass. Mount Vernon has out-rebounded us on the offensive and defensive glass. You know, we just haven't been.
From the word go, they've been rebounding like crazy.
Where they're hustling. They're out hustling us.
Well, I think they remember that 4 overtime loss.
Right. Oh yeah, they definitely remember that. They don't want to go and to that again. And again, they're playing with authority. They're playing with you know, they're playing as if they, as you see Sam Harvey and Dave Pollard, they want to win this ball game, and they're playing that. You know, we've seen us some lackadaisical play. Again, we know what we can play. We are not playing up to that. We haven't got out of second gear.
Well, the last couple of ball games in the Northeastern game, which was the final game of the season at Northeastern, the Spartans really for 3 quarters didn't play very well. They finally, in the 4th period, played better. The game ended with a tie in regulation. They had to go into overtime to win. And a game at Spartan Bowl, the last game of Spartan Bowl, the Spartans really, it seems like they had a letdown in the 4th period.
Right, yeah.
And you really need to play 4 solid quarters when you come to this level.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can't have a quarter off. You have to play consistently. Now we're behind the 8 ball and then some. Down 10, that 3, the Erdl hit right there, you know, really set, you know, was the definition of that half right now. The fact that, again, they're making all the plays. We're not. Their lid is wide open. Ours is not. You know, we've had some, you know, our first 3 possessions, we were able to get inside, just weren't able to score. And, you know, we've made some mental mistakes, too, that we shouldn't be making.
Yes, well, we just haven't played. They played better. Let's admit it. And
we've definitely played better. Again, you know, our boys, you know, we know what they're capable of doing. They know what they're capable of doing, and more importantly, Mount Vernon knows what they're capable of doing. Don't think for a moment Mount Vernon's in there going, oh, we got this game in the bag, and they're high-fiving each other, and they're thinking that this is going to be a cakewalk. That second half, they know what the Spartans could do. They know how tough the Spartans are to go into their house and beat them in 4 overtimes.
Yes.
You know, where you know that their fan base was going ballistic. You know, their fan base was pushing them for the victory. But, you know, so they know all about us. They know how we are.
Absolutely. They have well scouted the Spartans. You could tell that tonight. that they've done their homework going into this ball game.
Yeah, we just, again, got to play more aggressive. We got to play with more authority. We have to play with more belief that, hey, you know, we're going to make this happen, and we're just not. That fire that you expect the defending champion to have in sectional, that fire that you expect a team that's 23-1 to come in here, it's just not there for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I have a lot of confidence in Kerry Brown that he's figured out what's wrong and will make the proper adjustments.
Yeah, Kerry has the torch. Terry has the igniter, or Kerry has the igniter, and Kerry will ignite the fire in these boys, and they'll go out and you'll see a different team this second half. Absolutely, positively, no doubt about that.
33-23 at halftime. Mount Vernon leads the Spartans. They had a 13-9 lead at the first break. Let's have the individual scoring, Ron.
Yes, for the Mount Vernon Marauders, they are led by Logan Smith's 11 points. Michael Earl, their leading scorer, just has 5, nailed that 3 there with a second or 2 to go in the half. James McLeod, he started off pretty hot. He has 8 points, and most of those are within 5 feet. Damari Gatewood has 2, and Eric Shepard has 7 for the Mount Vernon Marauders. For the Connersville Spartans, they are led by Grant Smith's 14. Garrett Silcott has 4. Noah Belt has 2, and Bo Isaacs has 3 for the Connersville Spartans.
Mount Vernon has very balanced scoring.
Yeah, they do have balanced scoring. I mean, not one guy is really taken over. You know, you would see a guy take over, and then you know, another guy would be making some shots. Again, they're playing all-around team basketball that we're not.
Well, hopefully the Spartans will, if they ever get the lead in this ball game, with as many fans as they have here.
Yeah, if we ever get the lead in this ball game, everything will go ballistic. There's no doubt about that. Again, it's just a matter of, you know, our crowd's not in the ball game. I mean, we're 3-1 against Mount Vernon as far as crowd-wise.
Yes.
And you would think that we're playing Mount Vernon at their house.
That's right.
Their crowd is really into it, supporting their boys. Again, this is not anything different than what we expected when we saw them back in January in that 4-overtime game. Again, we know them. We know what to expect. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, again, that's why we played 2 halves, Fran.
That's right. Well, Mount Vernon's playing much better than they did in that ball game.
Yeah. And we've seen us play 2 bad quarters. We've seen us play, you know, we've seen us play like this before, and then we righted the ship at the right time. Again, with that last game against Northeastern, a highly ranked team in their class, you know, we played 3 not so good quarters, and then we just exploded. But again, this is sectional where you need to be good each and every time.
Well, it's going to take quite an effort here by the Spartans. I think they've got to have somebody camped under the basket when they make a shot.
Without question. Again, we have seen this team all year long rebound. Perfect rebounds. The way that they've executed under the glass has been nearly flawless. Tonight it's not. I mean, it's just not very good at all. And again, that's because we're getting out hustled by Mount Vernon. You see them following their shots. You saw that towards the end of the second quarter where one of their guys streaked in and tried to get his shot, his rebound from his missed shot. We're not doing that. We need to do that. We need to start it immediately as we start the quarter.
Well, I think Kerry Brown is probably making corrections right now.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Who's their leading scorer again for Mount Vernon?
For Mount Vernon, their leading scorer is Logan Smith. Logan has 3 threes and a field goal, a 2-pointer.
Okay, well, they're going to have to shut him down.
Yeah, definitely got to shut him down. But again, you know, their whole team, you know, James McLeod, you know, he's fast. He's a 6-foot guy. He's as quick as a guard.
Yes.
But he's got the height. He's got the speed. He's been able to get inside. He's been able to muscle his way in. One thing I'm very impressed with Mount Vernon is you see they'll pass a shot into their bigs, and they'll dribble back into the basket until they get that, you know, within 5 feet, and they turn around. We need to be able to double team that. We need to be able to swarm around that. We're not doing that.
Well, since the opening of this ball game, we've been playing their game.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
I mean, they jumped off to a 6-0 lead before we ever scored.
Yeah.
And the Spartans just been playing catch-up since then.
Yeah, we've definitely been playing catch-up since then. And again, you mentioned that about we're playing their type of ball.
Yes.
You know, there towards the end of the season, we played that swarmy defense, and it was very successful. We haven't seen that. You know, maybe that's something that Kerry will adjust to, where start swarming them again. We get them within 5 feet. We need somebody to zoom over there and double team them on that. Yes, it may open up an outside shot, but I'd rather them shoot from outside at a low percentage shot than just pound us inside like they have been.
Well, we'll know shortly what the third quarter will bring, as we are just about a minute and a half from the beginning of quarter number 3 here tonight. This is one of 64 sectionals beginning play around Indiana this evening. 403 teams are entered in this year's tournament, and it will take 395 games, Ron, to reach the finals on March the 25th at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
And hopefully we're there.
I know the Spartan fans really, really are hoping that happens.
Would absolutely positively hope that happens. Again, we've had that special year, 23-1. There's no way that our boys, as you see Kerry giving last-minute instructions to the troops as we head into the third quarter, there's absolutely positively no way that we're going to go on out of here without a fight.
We really need to jump off to a good start here in the second half.
Yeah.
And if we could ever grab the lead and get these fans the way they respond to Spartan basketball,
it'd be a different ballgame.
It would. It would carry them on to a victory for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Mount Vernon right now, they got to be feeling very good, and they know that the Spartans are going to make adjustments without question. We get the ball starting near the half, so they know there's going to be adjustments. We need to score to start this. We need to score immediately to start this quarter.
Well, let's see if the Spartans can control play here in the third period, as it will be. Belton will be flipping it in to Connersville. Comes into Silcock. Now Vernon sets the defense. Here we go. Can Garrett score? Drives down, misses. Again, a rebound by Mount Vernon.
Yeah, he was waiting for a foul right there, but I like the way he got inside quick. There's a nice steal.
There's a nice play by the Spartans to steal the ball, as you said. Silcock down to Belt. Belt loses control, goes to Smith. He puts it up, won't go. The Spartans, those high percentage shots run just won't drop for him.
No, not at all. And Grant's upset. He's jawing at the Zebras that he didn't get the foul. And, again, that's okay. We've been able to get inside. Let's just go ahead and stop them right now. And
Marauders on the attack with a 10-point lead here as we start the third period of play in this sectional game at Newcastle. Shot is up and good. Along the baseline, a little layup put up and in by Mount Vernon.
Yeah, McLeod, that's his 10th point. He's got all of his 10 points within 5 feet right there, and we're down 12.
Here's Belt driving down, turned around, layup went in, but it will not count.
I'm surprised that there was a foul called right there as Carey's on the floor yelling at the troops.
Now going to be called on a Mount Vernon play on
Gatewood.
Right, Gatewood, that's his first, team's first. Connersville ball. Here's Silcock driving the lane, putting it up, won't go.
Wow.
2 close-in shots dropped off. Spartans come away with no points. There is a fight for the ball underneath the basket.
There we go.
And Mount Vernon boy loses control of the ball. No foul called. The fans of Mount Vernon wanted a foul.
Well, we did too.
Up court, Connersville.
There we go.
Turnaround jumper from the free throw lane. Gets the first 2 points of the second half for Connersville.
Yeah, again, we've been able to get inside the first 3 possessions. Finally got one to drop as we cut it back to 10.
There's a shot on the way that looked like a 3. It was a 3-pointer which was missed, but there's a foul called on the rebound.
Yeah, they're going to call Grant on that. Wow, that's very dangerous right there.
First foul on Grant Smith of Connersville. It's Mount Vernon ball.
They're going to call
foul called on Connersville.
Wow, now they're getting the whistles out for that's Noah.
Belt first, team second. Inbounding play, shot is short by Mount Vernon. Connersville Smith up court. Tries to feed off to Huffman, and it's a loose ball. Bad pass by Connersville gives it out of bounds to Mount Vernon.
Yeah, I've never seen, wow.
I don't know. The Spartans really have to get their act together here, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, to play devil's advocate, I mean, the Zebras calling it both sides of the ball. We got to not be complaining as
Mount Vernon getting a jump shot, which will rim and come out.
Foul 21, yeah.
Whistle stop play.
McLeod's third. Right there,
This is a foul on Mount Vernon's number 21, McLeod.
Yeah, right over Garrett right there as Sullenbarger comes in. There's a timeout from Mount Vernon. He's not liking what he sees. Again, we're down 10, and just got to put the non-calls out of our head and just play. Don't be too aggressive.
2.5 minutes have been played here in the second half. Yeah. Spartans had 2 close-in shots, Ron, that you would think would drop, but they didn't. And we have scored 1 basket, and they've scored 1 basket here in the opening of the second half. Mount Vernon ahead in this game. Timeout's over.
Here we go again, getting the ball, and going to go where are they going to? Yeah, I was going to say I thought where they were going to take the ball from.
Connersville ball. Mount Vernon, now they'll have a guy out at center court to pick up on the guard, but he backs off quickly as Smith walks it across the timeline for CHS. And the Connersville want to see a score here. Isaac, the ball over the belt. Noah gets away from his guard, gives to Silcott. Sets up a screen for Smith. Shot missed. Silcott high to grab the rebound for Connersville. Here's Isaacs. His shot is missed. Fight for the rebound. And the Marauders come off with a foul called. Silcott's on the floor. And it's going to be...
And we'll call Grant again on that.
Second foul on Grant Smith.
Yeah, let's see this right here as Garrett goes up, and that's a foul right there on Grant's not liking it. He was thinking that Garrett was fouled, and that's what he gestured over there. Didn't get the call, but he got it.
Here comes Mount Vernon.
Now we're playing in our heads. Nice from Hunter right there. Now we're playing in our heads, Fran. We're arguing we're jawing with the Zebras.
Yes.
We got to put that out of our heads.
Yes. Ball batted out of bounds by Sullenberger, and so Mount Vernon will keep control. Working with a lead of 10 points here in the third period.
Stepped out of bounds.
Stepping on the board, out of bounds, a turnover by stepping on the out of bounds line. Was a Mount Vernon boy, and Connersville gets the ball on the turnover. See if they can turn it into points, Ron.
Got to turn it into points, Fran. That just goes without saying.
Silcott, Sullenberger.
That's going to be sad. Those two not playing anymore. Of course, they're cousins, and Sullenberger is a senior. He's out of here, and Garrett's going to lead the troops next year. There's
a bad pass and a foul going to be called on Mount Vernon as the ball was intended for Isaacs.
That's Shepard right there.
Mount Vernon foul. That's their third of the second half. Non-shooting foul. Silcott will inbound.
Got to get it in there.
Finally feeds it into Sullenberger way in the backcourt.
Scares me to death.
But the defense of Mount Vernon was
very good,
strong that Silcott couldn't find anybody open. Silcott drives the lane, scores. Let's see if it counts. He was fouled.
It's not going to count, unfortunately. I wish it would, but that's going to be on 13 right there, as you see. Just the hooking right there.
Push off. Basket will not count. Foul called on number 13 of Mount Vernon, Smith. That's the team's fourth.
Got a long time without scoring as both defenses have, tightened up.
There's Isaacs with a nice turnaround shot from the free throw lane after the ball worked to him by Silcott. 5 points for Bo. Connersville down by 8. Here comes Mount Vernon.
Have to stop him now and get inside and score. Definitely have to stop them now and not take 3 minutes in between scoring.
I think now Vernon is in no hurry to shoot.
Oh, no, they're not in any hurry at all. I mean, this is not their style of ball, but again, when you're up 8 against the Spartans,
sure,
this will be your style of ball.
Absolutely. Here's a jumper, which looks good. No, off the mark, rebounding the Spartans. Sullenberger grabs it.
I'm surprised.
The Spartans had 3 Spartans under the basket that time.
Yeah, that's that
right. Here's Silcott, feeds Isaacs. Cross court, Sullenberger tries a 3, off the front rim, grabs his own rebound. Nice play.
He's lucky that it came to him. He needed to follow his shot.
Goes to Smith. He's in traffic. Feeds Silcott. His shot is way off.
Yeah, they're
rebounding is.
They're not.
Mount Vernon.
Yeah, they weren't giving themselves a good opportunity. I mean, it was easy. I mean, it was open shots, so you don't mind taking them. But we only had one guy under the glass. Nobody else was there, and we were outnumbered under the glass, and that's why Mount Vernon came away with it.
Now Vernon with the ball. We're in the 3rd period. Under 2 minutes to go. Ball worked around.
Nice.
Shot from the rim. Blocked by Connors. A loose ball. Silcott drives down. Went in for a shot, foul. He bangs into the support of the goal, but pops up. He's okay.
Yeah, here we go with that. Yeah, he got part of the body right there for Garrett, and yeah, that definitely was a foul right there for Mount Vernon, and we got to turn it into points. As
2 shots for Garrett. He's talking to one of. I guess he's okay. I thought maybe he was shaken up on that play, but he goes to the free throw line. There's Garrett's free throw, which is good. Spartans' 28th point in this ball game. Down by 7, and now it's 6 as Garrett drops his free throws in. He has 6 points on the game tonight.
Faithful getting back into it. We're down 6. We've been this way for a while.
Stan trying to urge the Spartans to play tight and tough defense here as Mount Vernon will work the ball around a little bit, taking some time off the clock, working with a 6-point lead. And it is missed. Long shot. A 3 attempted by Mount Vernon. Smith with the rebound, drives down, scores. 35-31. 4-point lead for Mount Vernon. And the Spartan fans, I think, are sensing something, Ron.
Yeah, they definitely are sensing something. They're not sure what's going on down there with the Zebras, why it got stopped. But, yeah, definitely without question, the faithful are coming out of their seats. They're coming unglued. They got our boys back up to 4. Grant right there, just nice play from Grant right there.
See if they can cause a stop here right now. They're urging the Spartans to tighten up their defense.
Definitely have to tighten it up. Definitely got to get a stop right here.
Marauders with the ball. Working for a shot, missing, tipped up, missed, fight for the rebound. It is, Mount Vernon winning the battle. Out shot is missed by Mount Vernon. Fight for the rebound, Mount Vernon again, and foul called.
They're pointing both ways, I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure what the officials are going to decide here.
Yeah, they're going to call Garrett. I thought that Garrett committed the foul, but one Zebra pointed in our direction. But yeah, they're right there, Garrett over the back. Faithful not liking that, but that
non-shooting foul. Marauder ball at their end of the court.
Oh wow! Grant tried to hit it off.
Grant Smith tried to. Well, he did break up the inbound play, that's for sure, but wasn't successful in keeping the ball from going out of bounds.
Again, we still have another quarter to go. We can't, no point in getting the 4. We, can't get the 4 points right here. Just, let's get a stop right here and let's close out this quarter and cut it down.
Mount Vernon ball. Marauders working the ball around. Isaac guarding the ball handler.
Again, see, we're swarming right there.
Turnaround shot is in and out. But Marauders rebound, miss, fight for the rebound. The Spartans come off this time with it. Isaac.
Yeah, that's unbelievable right there. It's hard to hear, and our faithful are across the floor from us. And again, got to make a point. Got to score right here, Fran.
Silcott over the belt. Over to Isaacs. Now Smith. Spartans will go for the final shot of this third period, down by 4 points. Silcott, the ball handler, over to Smith. Half a minute on the clock.
Wasn't sure if we were going to take the final shot, but it looks like that's where we're going to go, as we're at 30 seconds.
I think so. Smith and Silcott pulled out along the baseline. Sullenberger.
But we want to keep this momentum, Fran. We definitely, without question, need to score right here as we head into the fourth.
Yes.
As Mount Vernon's going to get the ball, as you see the faithful coming alive. There's time to hustle.
Here's Silcott starting to
That's
drive,
beautiful.
finds a hole, lays it up and in, and it is 35 to 33. The buzzer sounds. We've played 3 quarters here tonight.
Tell you what, the faithful coming alive, Fran, as our boys are back in this ball game. Mount Vernon only scored 2 points right there. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, if you give Garrett that kind of a lane right there, he's going to score every time. You and I could have scored on that. I tell you what, you give that guy a lane, there he goes each and every time as the Spartan faithful, they're coming alive, and our boys, they're fired up again. Kerry had that torch we talked about at halftime. Obviously, he's lighting our boys up, and the faithful are just keeping it shining.
10-point third quarter for Connersville, a 2-point third quarter for Mount Vernon.
But we don't have the lead. We don't have the lead. We got to carry this momentum right now. This couldn't have come at a better time, the end of the half for Mount Vernon, or the end of the quarter, as they can just, recharge themselves for a moment. But again, we got to keep the fun. We got to keep the momentum. We played a lot more solid defense. We were able to get some more glass. I mean, that was, complete opposite of what we saw the first half.
Well, if the Spartans grab the lead in this ball game,
yeah, we won't be able to hear anything.
And hold everything down.
Yeah.
We're ready to be getting the final 8 minutes here of this ball game. It will be Mount Vernon ball.
Yeah, Mount Vernon definitely gets the ball, and we'll see how.
Then Spartans defense has to prevent them from scoring. That's the story, Ron. I mean, it's as simple as that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, keep them from scoring, and then we got to score. Again, we don't have the lead right now, so we definitely, without question, have to, remember that and play, play as focused as we were that third quarter.
Here we go. Mount Vernon with the ball. Spartans on their tight man-to-man defense. Smith breaks up the play, but a Marauder gets back in the court and keeps possession for Mount Vernon. Nice play by Grant Smith.
Yeah, very good play from Grant Smith.
Now they work the boy underneath. There's an open shot.
Wow.
Drops off.
That is
so Marauders are capable of missing the close ends too, Ron.
Yeah, that was.
Here's Smith up court.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Silcott. Comes to Sullenberger.
Got to make them pay on that, Fran, without question. Have to make them pay right here.
Spartans down by 2. A bucket would score. A 3 would give them the lead. Here's Smith. Almost. Decided not to.
Yeah, if he
Here's
scored,
Silcott.
that'd be great. But
he'll drive. Works Isaacs in the corner. Back out to Silcott.
Again, just go ahead and make the play. Let's get the tie ball game. Let's start all over.
Silcott drives down, feeds off. Ball knocked away by a Marauder. It will be.
Is there a foul?
Yeah, it's a foul call.
Well, that guy got hit in the face with the ball. He was looking at like, hey, I was hit in the face. Let's see what we got right here.
21, McLeod is called for, and that's his 4th.
That's McLeod's 4th. McLeod stunned and hit him right in the face, and he's not sure why they called a foul line. Looked like from that replay, maybe he kind of hooked one of our guys, but.
Non-shooting foul. Spartans have possession of the ball. Goes into backcourt to Smith. Sullenberger. Grant brings it into front court. Drives around. Ooh, I thought he.
Yeah, I did too.
A high dribble.
Yeah. Again, we just got to calm down. The
That's
boys.
right. Yeah. You
can't do that.
It's a bad, crazy pass. Trying to work the ball in, and Mount Vernon boy just
trying to be a little bit too fancy right there. That's now puts more pressure on our defense with something like that. You cannot do that.
No. There's Mount Vernon getting free.
That's
a shot missed. Collision of players.
That is unbelievable.
No foul called.
No, that's wow. Missing that much.
Comes to left court. Silcott stumbles with the ball, but feeds off to Belt in time.
Never seen a team miss that many easy shots like that. That's unreal.
Yes.
Yeah, Kerry's calling timeout. He's not liking what he's seeing. You know, again, don't do anything crazy. That behind that Magic Johnson pass only works for Magic Johnson.
No, you don't do things like that.
No.
That's be sure of your pass. Be sure of the receiver where he's at, and
you know, gotta
make some smart decisions here, Ron. That's what needs to be happening here in this ball game.
The whole dynamic of this ball game will change. As you see, Mount Vernon coach, he's fired up. The whole dynamic of this ball game will change if we get the lead. I mean, Mount Vernon has given us opportunities to get the lead simply because they've missed, I mean, shots that I would have bet $1 million they would have went in. But again, they didn't go in. Now we have to make ours go in. We still have to tie this ball game up.
Play 2 minutes in the final period here tonight. There has been no scoring yet. Now winning by 2 points. Buzzer's down, timeout's over. And
you know, we've played 10 minutes of this half, and Mount Vernon's only scored 2 points. You know, again,
yes,
we have to get the lead. We got to tie it up right here. You know, we're only going to get so many opportunities for that to happen.
Play about to be resumed here, and for 30. Noah Belt will take it out for Connersville. Official has a word for him. Now gives him the basketball, and Connersville puts it in play. Comes into Silcock. Garrett moves the ball behind the free throw circle.
Got to score right here. That's without question the most important thing. This is it. Got to score.
Silcock starting to drive down. Feeds off to Smith. Grant to the free throw lane. Feeds off to Sullenberger. Yeah. There it is. Sullenberger hits a corner three, and the Spartans have the first lead of this ball game.
Yeah, we can't give it up right there. I mean, we got to go ahead and try to get them stopped right here again.
Right. There's a shot. There's a three right back by Mount Vernon's Erdo, their leading point maker. They grabbed the lead by 2, 38-36. Comes Connersville with the ball.
Again, just as soon as we got the lead, they took it back. Again, we got to tie it right here or take the lead again. We just got to play
Smith
smart. Ooh, that's
working under along the baseline to Sullenberger, back out to Smith. Grant drives down, stops at 5 feet, scores, lays it up and in. They're tied. 20 points for Grant Smith. And here comes Mount Vernon.
Yeah, Mount Vernon again. They, definitely don't want to relinquish. They want to get the lead right back right now. Of course, we want to stop them. I mean, that's just don't need to say anything. You know what's going to happen. You know what they need to do.
Drives down, feeds off to a teammate who drops one in. Nice little jump shot from along the free throw line, baseline. Is that Smith?
Yeah.
Number 13 points for Logan Smith.
Yeah, it's going to come down to every possession, just like that 4-overtime ball game. Every possession, very, very important. Of course, different from that game to this game is this is the season.
We're halfway through the final period.
Foul
called. Smith was fouled. Grant Smith was bumped by Logan Smith.
That's Logan's third.
And it will be the 7th foul on Mount Vernon. Connersville will be at the line from now on.
Yeah, and we have to score every time we're at the line.
These free throws are crucial, Ron.
Yeah, we cannot miss at all, period.
Smith has a free throw and a bonus. He makes that one, so the bonus goes into effect. Spartans trail by a point. Second free throw is up, and this one will not go. And it's Mount Vernon ball.
Yeah, Mount Vernon has not been, they've had 2 shots at the foul line. We haven't had any, yeah.
Here's number 12 firing, hitting another 3. That's their leading point maker, and the Spartans find him almost unstoppable. Smith drives down, scores, banks one up and in.
Again, have to stop them here again. It's going to be on replay, going to be on repeat.
2-point lead for Mount Vernon. They have the ball.
There's an Ertl's wide open again.
Yeah, Sullenberger's on him. He goes, fires up, misses this time. Smith grabs the rebound. He is decked. He'll be at the line. Foul called on Mount Vernon.
Yeah, right here, as you see Smith, he got the position right there. Mount Vernon coming, that's definitely going to be a foul. He knew it. I tell you, I'm impressed with the class that both teams show. The boys as 21's out of the game.
Right, that's his fifth.
Yeah, but both boys, both teams, they're showing class, slapping each other's hand, lifting each other up after a hard foul. You can't get better than that.
He averages 12 points. What did he have, Ron?
McCord?
McLeod.
Or McLeod, yeah, he had 10.
Okay, he was average 12 per game.
Again, this is going to come down to free throws. Got to make them all.
Smith drops this one in. That's Spartan's 42nd point in this ball game. Now Smith's ready for his second try. Shot is up and good. 43-43. 25 points for Grant Smith tonight as Mount Vernon goes on the attack. Good penetrates the Spartans defense, and there's a three put up and in by Gatewood. 5 points for Gatewood. Connors with a ball down by 3. Smith up close, fouled as he tried a jumper, and he'll have a couple of free throws coming.
Yeah, he's going to get 2 right here as Grant comes in, sees a little bit of the lane right there, and got the call nonetheless.
Spartans trail by 3 points.
Got to make these free throws.
Stays 3 as Smith misses his free throw.
Thank God he has another one, but can't be missing our free throws.
Second try coming up for Smith. This one is good. Spartans scores, so Mount Vernon gets the ball. We'll put it in play. Marauders up court quickly. Ertl feeds off to a teammate who fires from the baseline, missing. Teammate Mount Vernon rebounds, and the Marauders keep control. With 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game, they lead by 2.
Yeah, they're going to slow it down a lot right here. They're going to wait till they get the perfect play to try to score, not try to force it.
Now they're going to eat some clock here, and everything.
Definitely.
A little over 2 minutes to go in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to do, is eat some clock. And again, this is not what they're used to, but when they have a 2-point lead, I mean, they got to do it.
Give it to Ertl, their number 12 leading scorer. He feeds off to
we have some fouls to give.
Whistle stops play. Going to be called on number 30, Belt of Connorsville. Spartans
timeout.
take a timeout with 1:50 on the clock. And the scoreboard shows a 2-point lead for Mount Vernon.
I would not be surprised this last minute, 50 to go, that Mount Vernon just does not keep the ball and just try to, pass it back and forth. There's no reason for them to try to score and miss and give Connors the opportunity to tie it up.
Yes.
So, Connors will have some fouls to give to stop. One more they have to give to before Mount Vernon's on the line. I don't know what the statistician or what, who's a bad free throw shooter for Mount Vernon or not, but or who is, but we got to force a turnover.
Yeah, the Spartans have committed 5 fouls. And one goes into effect after 7. So
so we have 1 foul to give, and then the next one will put Mount Vernon on the line. And I would suspect that this is what Mount Vernon wants to do, is that they definitely, without question, want to just eat the ball and force Connorsville to foul.
Timeout's over and play's about to be resumed.
Spartans need to be sticky.
1:50 on the clock.
Right there. Got to get a stop right here. Got to get a score.
Team's ready to go. It's Mount Vernon ball. Ball work in.
Now they got it.
Foul called on Belt, I believe, for reaching around. That's number 6.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Mount Vernon basketball. They work it into Ertl. It's number 12, their leading point maker. Silcott picks him up on the guard.
Now Ertl's got 2 threes this quarter to,
Driving the baseline, shot missed again by Mount Vernon.
Here we
Rebound
go.
in Connersville.
Went down a little
Silcott
bit.
and Belt teaming up to get that ball and bringing it up court. Silcott the ball handler. Connersville down by 2 points. Nice feed. Smith to Belt as he was driving in from the left side along the baseline, and we have a 46-46 ball game.
Watch Noah coming to the screen right here. Grant sees him, beautiful right there, and Noah ties this ball game up. Mount Vernon may be waiting to take the last shot. Again, we definitely, without question, need to force a turnover right here. And here's a timeout from, I think, Mount Vernon. Yeah, it's going to be that's a 30-second timeout. 55-point. Boy, this is familiar. This is familiar with these two teams right here.
You think it will end in an overtime?
Oh, maybe. You never know with these teams right here.
No, that's right. I mean, the way this game's been going, who knows how it's going to end. I'm sure Mount Vernon's going to try to draw a foul.
Yeah, and you know what? Not sure if that's a good idea or not. As you see a future Spartan right there with Grant's number. He's going to take that number when he gets older. But, here's the thing. If we put them on the line and they make 2, we're only down 2, and we still have plenty of time to tie it up. So, and if they miss one and we get the rebound,
yes,
well then,
that would be the fans of Connersville would like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to give them free opportunities to score, but, again, we got to, look at the clock and the nature of that. As you see, with a few of the Spartans, they love it.
Mount Vernon ball. Smith will guard the trigger guy. Well, no, he won't. He falls away. Comes inbounds to Mount Vernon, goes to Ertl, number 12.
Mount Vernon never expected this with that 10-point lead, with that dagger 3 to extend the lead by 10 going into the third, in the halftime. And
they are working for the final shot.
Oh, there's no doubt, yeah.
Goes to Ertl. He will probably try the final shot. Number 12. He has the ball right now.
No, this is it right here, Fran. We're not going to foul. We're not going to put him at the line, especially with 27 seconds to go.
He's off. No.
Ooh, that's almost a steal.
A loose basketball. Fight for the ball.
Timeout.
And Mount Vernon wins the battle for the loose ball and the timeout called.
Yeah, that Faithful not liking that at all. See replay right here again. Great play from Noah. Got all ball right there. Not sure why there wasn't a travel called. He did slide a little bit, but nonetheless, Zebras didn't call that at all. So Mount Vernon, wow.
19 seconds on the clock. The score is tied at 46, and it will be Mount Vernon ball.
Yeah, this game is, I tell you what, both fan bases probably don't have any fingernails. Probably they haven't grown back since that 4 overtime thriller. It looks like we may go into a 5th. Again, just got to, be calm. Don't overcommit. Don't overfoul. Don't do anything crazy. Don't let them get inside. Don't let anybody catch them streaking.
Right. Don't make any mistakes here.
Right.
I mean, I guess you let them shoot and hope they miss, Ron.
Yeah,
it's the other thing I know.
19 seconds to go. It's unbelievable.
Now, if they would commit a turnover, I think.
Yeah, that'd be great if they turned it over.
But they aren't likely to. They haven't made too many this evening. Smith will guard the trigger man again. As the Marauders line up, they've got number 12 loose. There's a Ball worked around.
That was a foul on Bo.
Whistle stopped play. Foul called on Isaacs of Connorsville, I believe. Yes, number 52, and that will send to the free throw line.
Bo's first foul of the ball, actually his second foul of the ball game. I think first this half. Not a good time for that.
Mount Vernon will be at the line, shooting a free throw.
Hey, Gentry right there. You know he's got to be feeling wow.
And he will get a bonus. He misses a shot. The rebound goes to Smith of Connorsville.
Carey's not calling
Grant
time.
brings it up court. 10 seconds on the clock. It's out to Silcott. 5, 4, 3. Here's Smith shooting as the buzzer sounds off the mark, and
wow. Here we go in overtime.
46-46 at the end of 32 minutes of basketball, and where have we seen this run?
Yeah, well, you know.
This is the 6th overtime for Connorsville.
Yeah.
They had 5 during the regular season, which tied, by the way, an Indiana basketball record for overtimes in a season.
We won them all.
We did.
That's not counting.
Let's see if we can get win number 6 here tonight.
We had that, of course, the 4 overtime game against Mount Vernon. I want to say we had another multi-overtime game. You know, again, this is unbelievable.
We had a double overtime game.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who it was against right now, but here we go again. They put up 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, you know, again, we do have the experience playing overtime. Mount Vernon as well with us. So they know what we're capable of. We know what they're capable of. Let's see if number 5 is one for the ages.
Mount Vernon played 2 overtimes. They lost both. One to Connorsville, of course. And in their first ball game of the season, they played a double overtime. I believe it was Winstead or something like that was the team that they played in the opening. So as far as overtimes are concerned, they are 0-2 in overtimes, and the Spartans are 5-0.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if that makes any difference or not.
Not now for during the sectional, but again, it does give you hope with our boys having the experience of playing in overtime.
Well, the key now is to get off to a good start in the overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they won those 5 overtimes. They got off to a fast start.
Yep.
Here's the jump in the center circle. It'll be controlled this time by Mount Vernon.
That means we have the possession arrow right now.
Marauders on the attack.
You know, they've only scored, 13 points that half.
Yes.
We scored 23, which was exactly what we scored that first half.
There's a shot, a 2-point field goal. Who was that, Ron?
Shepard.
Okay, thank you. He had 9 points. Spartan now down by 2. Smith with the ball. Erdl is on him. Feeds underneath to Soderberger. Bad pass. Turnover by the Spartans. Number 42 drives down for Mount Vernon. Was in for a shot, missed, but he was fouled.
Yeah, they're calling Grant on that.
Couple of free throws coming up for a Mount Vernon boy.
See if we got it right here. Looked like Grant got a little bit, just enough where they did call the foul. Of course, you see Grant's hand right there saying, what? Gotta hope he misses this shot right here. He does get 2.
Shot is good by the free throw shooter. This is Shepard coming into the ball game. 14.9 points per game average.
How much did he have?
14.9 was his average on the season.
He's only at 10.
Here's his second free throw coming up. It looks good, and it is. And quickly a 4-point lead for Mount Vernon. Here's Silcott up court. Feeds off to Isaacs. Foul is called. Silcott crashes into a couple of players, and I believe Garrett was fouled.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's Logan Smith's 4th.
Silcott will be shooting a couple of free throws.
Yeah, we're in the double bonus right now.
But now they mop up a damp spot on the floor before the
not sure why they
free
don't have
throws
those,
coming up.
Have those brooms, you know what I mean? Not sure why they don't have those.
I don't know why they don't. Spartans down by 4 points in the early going of the overtime.
Yeah, got to get it right here. Garrett has to sink these two. Of course, it goes without saying.
Now Vernon taking advantage of all the breaks here in the first 54 seconds of this overtime.
Oh, man, that's
Silcott's free throw is missed. And the Spartans' free throw shooting is off tonight. Dalton Lee comes into the game for Connersville. Sullenberger goes out. Second free throw by Silcott is good. And it is put in play by Mount Vernon. Up by 3.
Mount Vernon again. Well, now they're going for it.
Driving
Yeah,
down. Sergeant foul called on Mount Vernon. Will give the ball to the Spartans.
Yeah, definitely was. I mean, right here, Garrett set, definitely set right there. I mean, he was a statue for the longest time. That's Gentry's first.
Connersville ball. Isaacs will inbound it. Sullenberger ended the ball game. Dalton Lee goes out.
And we need a 3 in the worst possible way, Fran. We've only had two threes tonight.
Is that all we've had tonight?
That's all
I
we've
knew
had.
It wasn't very many, but I didn't realize it was that few.
Yeah, there are 3 threes. I'm sorry.
3, okay.
But still, that's really low.
That's definitely way below the Spartans' average for 3-point shots. Here's Silcott fouled as he drives along the baseline, attempting a shot. He'll have a couple of free throws.
Got to get it right here. Got to get the 2. Yeah, that's a foul right there. And nice way to draw it. Nice way to drive and get the foul. Now you have to sink them both.
What's Garrett's point total so far, Ron?
Garrett has 9. 10.
Number 10. Free throw drop. Lee comes back into the ball game for Connersville. Sullenberger goes out. Second free throw is good by Silcott. Spartans down by a point. Mount Vernon ball. Spartans full court press.
Haven't seen that all game.
No. If Mount Vernon gets it into front court in time. See if they will eat some clock here as they have a lead of 1, 50-49.
Yeah, this, again, the defense has picked up with the Spartans.
Silcott guarding the ball handler, Erdl, and he will feed off to a teammate. Dalton Lee picks up the ball handler, Smith.
Smith would have a workout with Lee all over him. Again, they're eating some clock as you would expect.
Under 2 minutes left to play in tonight's game. We're in overtime.
Again, the Mount Vernon Marauders, they're just, playing keep away right now, and why not? Again,
well, they're trying to draw a foul, and there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, again, you got Shepard got open right there, and their guy hit him, and, he had the height advantage on Noah. And, yeah, that's Noah's 4th. He's got to at least miss one right here, Get the miss right here. Obviously, we wanted to miss right here and get the rebound.
Number 42 shooting the free throws, Shepard.
Oh, that's right, he was shooting.
Missing the first shot. He'll get a second try coming up here.
Again, if he sinks it, we're only down 2. Timeout right now as we...
Timeout taken by...
Yeah, Kerry wants to go over a play after this. Hopefully he gets the rebound if he misses it. Ison, and we're icing Shepard. Hopefully he misses this one, and we're down 1, and then, come up with a... Got to get the lead.
Minute 35 on the clock with a 50-49 score in favor of Mount Vernon. Overtime.
I was getting ready to say overtime again. That's what I thought you were saying. I think we've had enough of these overtime games this year. We had a lot at the bowl this year. Didn't realize how many we did have, but we had a lot this year. Didn't know it set a record. Just unbelievable.
Timeout's over, and here comes the minute and 35 seconds left to play in this ball game here tonight, and it's overtime anyway. We'll see what happens as 42 moves to the free throw line. Again, this is Eric Shepard, he's a 6'6" senior at Mount Vernon.
That's his first shot, so again, they're only going to be up 2 if he sinks it right here. Got to box out if he misses. Got to get the rebound if he misses.
Fires it up, and he does miss it. And fight for the rebound. Grant Smith for Connersville.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to, this last minute and 30, if we're going to go ahead and hold the ball.
See what the Spartans decide to do. Grant Smith takes a pass from
we need to do.
He drives down. Starts to drive into the baseline, comes back out, feeds to Belt. Noah goes underneath. The play is
beautiful. I tell you, what a
rebounding Marauders. If they lose the basketball, it's out of bounds. Connersville.
Noah was coming out of bounds and saw that it was off them and kind of zigged and zagged away from it. And nice play, heads-up play there from Noah Belt, the sophomore.
Silcott looks it in. Ball knocked away by a Marauder on the inbound pass. Touched last by Mount Vernon. Connersville ball.
That's the last thing we need right now is a turnover. That's dangerous.
1:06 on the clock. Connersville down by a point in the overtime. Comes into Isaacs. Loose ball momentarily. Boy. Now goes to Smith. Grant Smith. We're under a minute. Silcott drives down to Smith. Starts to drive down. Whistle stops play.
Got to score. You have to make both buckets right here.
Foul called on Mount Vernon.
Yeah, that's Shepard.
50.5 seconds. Smith of Connersville moves to the line.
Got to score right here. Got to make them both.
Connersville down by a point. Smith misses his free throw.
Got to make it right here, Grant. Now they're icing Grant.
Timeout called by Mount Vernon. They want Grant Smith to think about it for a while, don't they, Ron?
Yeah, they have definitely want him to think about it. Again, that was not really that good of an offensive possession right there for the Spartans. Weren't able to really get anything going offensively. A good play. Got the foul, but Grant didn't execute. Have to execute right here. Again, this is sectional time. We got to make every shot we put up. If not, we got to give ourselves an opportunity to be able to rebound it and keep it alive.
Going into tonight's game, Smith only shooting 76% in free throws, and he has not done very well tonight.
No, he's missed quite a few.
Yes.
Again, I'm nervous, so you can imagine the boys, how they feel,
Connersville down by a point, 50-49, with 50.5 seconds on the clock. Timeout is over. Smith will step to the line for a free throw.
Have to score, again, that goes without saying.
First game of the sectional here at Newcastle Fieldhouse. The winner moves on to Friday night play
against Richmond.
And as they say, the loser goes home.
Yeah. Yeah, Richmond's a dangerous opponent. They really won 8 games, got 6 of them forfeited, and only won 2 officially. But boy, they were in almost every ball game.
Right. Good by Smith to tie the ball game at 50. And now here comes Mount Vernon with 44 seconds on the clock, and they will go for a final shot.
Oh, there's no question about that. We have to force a turnover. If they're going for the last shot right here, you know it.
Best not foul. Just let them work the ball. Number 12 will probably take the shot. He's their leading point maker. Silcott has the job of guarding him. Ertl right now has the ball.
Can't let anybody streak. We got their big
13 seconds. The Mount Vernon people stand up in front of us.
Boy, they're far away.
Here's Ertl driving down. Shot missed. Silcott gets the ball, fires long as time runs out, and we will go into, guess what, a second overtime.
I'm not quite sure if these boys on both teams know how to play a regulation ball game. Yeah,
We almost lost our
Our
gear here.
Yeah.
We're behind the crowd, and the people
keep wanting to
use our table as a
man.
brace when they move in and out of the bleacher areas.
Yeah.
So 50-50 at the end of the first overtime. So we'll go to a second overtime.
A second overtime.
I'm not sure the people's hearts can
take it. I don't know if I can.
That's right with me. I don't. Wow. I'm not sure.
This is, it's a fun game to witness. It'd be a heartbreak if we lost. It would be just ecstatic if we won. Again, we've been in this position many, many times. So I would probably say the edge would go to the Spartans because of the fact that we've been to this so many times, and also the fact that we've beaten Mount Vernon when we've gone into multiple overtimes. That right there has to play into the minds of Mount Vernon, knowing that they've been here before. They've not been able to put Connorsville away. But again, that just gives them, they're hungry. They're very, very hungry. It means that they want to, to end the skid of losses.
Well, like I said, Ron, the Spartans need to get off to a good start in the overtime. They didn't in that first overtime.
Right, no, they didn't in that first overtime.
I mean, if they can jump off to a lead.
Yeah, we've not been able to play with the lead. We may have had maybe 30 seconds of the lead throughout this whole ball game.
Yeah, right. It's been.
Yeah, so we've got to get the lead right here.
Tip controlled this time by Connorsville. Silcott has it in backcourt.
Yeah, most definitely, without question, have to get the lead right here. We got to play with the lead.
That's right. I mean, we need to build up a 4 or 5 point lead in this ball game.
Come on, right here.
There's Sullenberger missing a shot that he usually makes from that corner.
Yeah, he was wide open again. Nobody was underneath him.
3-point attempt. Rebound goes to the Marauders.
Yeah, I was going to say, he definitely. It took a while for them to call that, but it looked like he kind of scraped his foot there. And that's the first walk they've called all night.
Right, Logan Smith started his drive toward the basket and was called for traveling, so it's out of bounds. Connorsville on the turnover. The Spartans haven't taken advantage of the breaks, Ron.
No, they have not at all.
It seems to me tonight. I mean,
not at all.
The few breaks they've gotten.
Right. And again, that's what they've done so well all year long, is being able to take advantage of the breaks. They just haven't tonight.
Yes.
But we got to right now, as Bo's going to sink it right here. I think that's off. But he got his own rebound. That's beautiful.
Rebound, puts it up, missed, picks up and in.
Oh my gosh, I missed that. That's crazy. That happened to both teams now.
Shot is missed.
Wow.
And it's hard to believe what we are seeing.
We are witnessing, both teams have missed some crazy shots.
Absolutely. Almost 100% shots.
Yeah. And I would say 99.9% of the time they wouldn't miss those shots.
Right.
Both teams, wow.
Here is Mount Vernon firing, and that's number 12. He hits a 3.
Yeah, we need to hit some threes.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've only had 3 threes tonight, and Ertl, he's got 3 right here in this half. With this.
Silcott goes to Smith.
Third and fourth quarter and overtimes.
Grant will get up close. Shot drops through. A little jumper from the baseline. A 2-pointer for Connorsville. 53-52 is the score in favor of Mount Vernon. There's another timeout being taken.
Again, got to stop them here as we're almost halfway through this overtime. We're in a familiar position of being down. Have to stop them. Got to stop them. Again, how many times we said that all night tonight? I should have just recorded it before and had the guys in the
several times, right?
Yeah. That's, again, when you're playing from behind so much, eventually we either A, have to start taking the lead and never relinquish, or it's just we're going to run out of steam of playing catch-up.
We were tied at 46 at the end of regulation play, tied at 50 at the end of the first overtime, and right now it is 53-52 as Mount Vernon has scored 3 points and the Spartans 2 in this overtime so far.
And that's exactly what happened last time. They were able to hit 3 and again playing catch-up.
And the overtime is almost half over.
you know, if we get at the line, again, we one more foul there, a double bonus. We're already in the double bonus. So, you know, if we get the opportunity to get to the line, we cannot miss any more free throws at all.
We've missed some costly free throws tonight, Ron.
Yeah.
You go back and look at this game.
We'd done won this ball game.
Absolutely. We would have won it in regulation play. Dalton Lee, Grant Smith, Garrett Silcott, Bo Isaacs, and Noah Belt on the line in the lineup for the Spartans right now as Mount Vernon puts it in play with 2 minutes left to play in the overtime, and they had a 1-point lead.
Yeah, now we're streaking a little bit, you know, forcing them to stay far away from the basket. You know,
now it looks like Mount Vernon will take some time off the clock here.
Oh, without question, that familiar position
Isaacs,
they've been in before.
The ball handler driving down. Little layup missed by Mount Vernon, but they grab the rebound. Whistle stops play. Timeout.
Yep, timeout. 1:40 to go. Again, that's you know, that swarming defense for the Spartans. Got to be able to get the rebound on a missed shot. Again, that's something that we haven't done very well tonight.
That's true.
You know, not the rebounds, and you know, wow, that you go back to that missed easy back bucket by 2 of our boys inside that didn't go down early in this second overtime, and you think, you know, geez, Pete, that didn't go down. We missed some free throws that didn't go down, and you know, of course, on the other side of the ball, Mount Vernon, they've missed a lot of easy shots as well. We definitely, without question, got to stop them right now, and our swarming defense is out.
Mount Vernon will have the ball when the timeout's over, and it's just about to run out here, and minute 40 on the clock.
Yeah, wow, this is, again, I'm feeling it in the belly, and I'm sure you are too. You can only imagine boys on both sides of the ball. And we got to remember, these are just, you know, these are teenagers. These are young kids.
That's right.
You know,
you're right.
Sheriff,
okay, timeout's
Joey
over.
There. Now we know what has to be done. The boys know what has to be done. It's just a matter of doing it.
Right. Mount Vernon ball. They're into the court. They'll put it in play. Smith will again guard the trigger man. And Mount Vernon finally puts it in play, but it's stolen by Bo Isaacs. Down court, Silcott. Shot is missed.
Wow,
rebounding Mount Vernon. Fight for a loose ball. Battle won by Mount Vernon.
Wow.
And the Spartans had a great opportunity there.
And that's
Mount Vernon ball.
How many have we saw of that on both sides of the ball? Yeah, that's.
There's a foul called on Connorsville.
And Noah's out, and he's not happy. Yeah, let's see this last chain of events right here as we go to the replay as Garrett goes on up and
the shot he makes 99 of 100 times, Ron.
Yeah, that as Noah's out. Hopefully not for the season as Solon Barger is coming in. But yeah, that's you're right, Fran. 99% of the time he scores on that.
Mount Vernon's at the line.
Shepard's
couple
missed
of
a
free
few.
throws coming.
Yeah, he's missed a few.
This is Eric Shepard.
I didn't miss that one.
Gives them a 2-point lead. Kerry Brown will call a timeout for Connorsville.
Gonna eye Shepard. Gotta hope he misses this again. Down 2.
Well, we'll know here shortly after the overtime.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. You know, that right there, Garrett going up and getting blocked.
Right, that was, you could almost bet that one would go.
Yeah,
go through
yeah.
When he drove down a court and into the lane, went up for the layup.
Yeah, I would have almost bet $1 million if that was going in. You know, and again, we've had so many blocked shots tonight from both sides of the ball. Grant's got a few, Shepard there. You know, it's always good when we do it, not when they do it. Wow, this is one of those games that you see the faithful do the wave. Yeah, but right now they're got their fingers in their mouth, chewing on what left of their fingernails.
Buzzer sounds as timeout's over. We've got 1:16 showing on the overtime clock here at the Newcastle Fieldhouse.
You know, win, lose, or draw, a lot of us are going to walk out of here with Kerry Brown hairdos without any. We're pulling our hair out.
Okay, it's Smith, Lee, Sullenberger, Silcott, Isaac, the lineup for Connorsville, and here is Shepard moving to the free throw line for Mount Vernon.
You got to hope he got iced just enough so that way he misses this one and we're only down 2.
His team is up by 2 points. He will try to make it 3.
Yeah, he's feeling it, I can tell, but he
takes careful aim and
he makes it anyways.
He makes it anyway, right. 55-52, Mount Vernon, 13 points for Shepard.
You gotta get right here.
Ball knocked away from Smith as he was driving in for a shot. Ball batted out of bounds by Mount Vernon. Good defense by Mount Vernon. I mean,
Shepard was animated. It was off Grant.
Smith right from going in. Here's a pass into back court. Now Smith brings it into front court. Drives into traffic. Feeds underneath Silcott.
Yes, got it. That's a good way to get a three-pointer. Garrett's got to score right here. That was beautiful. Again, nice play. If we're not going to be able to shoot it from outside, this is the hard way to get the three-pointer right now. And
55 to 54. Connersville trails by 1. Silcott can tie it with a free throw.
Yeah, if you want anybody on the line, you want this guy and Bo.
We'll see. It's up and short.
Wow, that hardly ever happens.
Marauders rebounds. Spartans missed free throws tonight.
Yeah,
they've had a very poor free throw shooting night long.
Yeah, very poor. We can't let them streak like that.
His shot driving it, missing. Fight for the rebound. Won by Connersville. Spartans call for a timeout with 39.9 seconds remaining. And Connersville down by a point, 55 to 54.
You know, I think, Fran, that the lid closes automatically when somebody gets within 2 inches of the basket. How many have we seen them miss like that? Both teams, unbelievable.
I know,
unbelievable.
I mean,
you know, and you know, quite often we would see a foul. We just, you know, not seeing any of those, and that kind of, you know, has a lot to do with when you go up there and wow, this is just unbelievable.
This has been, well, that word you said, I was just going to say this has been an almost unbelievable game since the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah, wow.
I mean, close shots, I mean, and the Spartans missing free throws, and their three-point shots.
There is none.
I mean, it's just been one of those games. It will be Connersville ball, down by a point. Just under 40 seconds remaining.
Got to score. I mean, that was just a great, I mean, definitely was scared when you saw Mount Vernon guys streak towards the basket. But again, you know, the basket closes, the lid closes, and we were able to fight for the rebound, and Dalton coming out with it and immediately didn't even hesitate, called timeout, and this is going to be the longest 39.9 seconds to go.
Smart move by Dalton Lee. Isaacs will inbound for Connersville, goes to Lee. Dalton brings it in the front court, goes to Smith, drives down, puts it up.
Got it!
Smith scores, and a foul called on Mount Vernon.
I tell you what, Grant right there, he's excited, he's feeling it as he gets in there again. You know, Grant, you know, just took over, got the foul, got the kiss off the glass, and you know, we take that 1-point lead with 30 seconds to go. Got to make this, give us some cushion.
Smith with a free throw try. It is up, and it is missed again. And it's Mount Vernon ball down by a point. 23 seconds on the clock. Shot is up and missed. Fight for the rebound.
That's off.
And bodies on the floor. What the officials
now, how would they call a timeout when they don't have the ball?
A timeout called by Mount Vernon with 13.5 seconds to play in the second overtime.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's shocking it wasn't called. I mean, there was a, you know, I mean, that's, look at it right here. I mean, they had the ball, and then
I
all of
thought
a
there
sudden,
was a held ball should have been.
Yeah, the held ball should have been called. There's no
Right.
doubt. I don't know how the zebra heard.
No, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're calling right here is the.
But it will remain forever what it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, missed free throws. You know, we could have been up by 2, would have given us a little bit of a cushion.
I can't remember a free throw shooting night
That's been
like
this bad.
this one has been.
Yeah,
I mean,
terrible.
You've had your aces on Silcott and
Yeah.
Smith, who usually you can put a blindfold on these guys,
Right,
and they
right.
can make a free throw, but not tonight.
Well, you know, our best free throw shooter, Bo Isaacs, has not been at the line at all.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What makes you wonder if they scouted the Spartans so well that the opposition said, "Do not foul Bo Isaacs."
Right, right. Well, you know, we need to get the ball to him. If we, you know,
Yes.
if we are able to stop right here, you know, hopefully the ball's in Bo Isaacs' hands, because if we're able to stop him here, they're going to foul, put us at the line, and I would rather have Bo at the line than anyone. But again, you know, Grant and Garrett, if they're there, they're hopefully.
I don't know how many of these people here might have to go to work tomorrow, but I don't.
You know, people are calling.
I don't think they're going to. Don't think they're going to be very productive tomorrow.
No, not at all. And then we got this
After
next
this
game that was
game.
supposed to start 15 minutes ago. You know, you got their fans.
That's
waiting around
right.
this
Yeah,
place.
their teams are waiting in the tunnel
Yeah.
to come out. Greenfield and Pendleton.
Yeah, they're loving this ball game.
13 and a half seconds to go. Mount Vernon ball down by a point.
Yeah.
Bad pass on the inbound.
Foul.
Taken by Silcott. He was fouled.
And Bo is
Isaacs is on the floor right now.
Bo is really
Yeah,
hurt.
he's in a world of hurt. I'm not sure if it's knee or a leg or what.
Yeah, he's not liking it at
The
all.
trainer's coming out now for Connersville to take a look.
I didn't see
Isaacs
what
is
happened.
on his back right now.
Yeah, I did not see what happened with Bo. They're going down there. Let's see what they're going to touch. Yeah, they're grabbing the knee.
I'm not sure if we have a replay on that or not.
Yeah,
It's a knee, his left
Can't have
knee,
that
I
guy out.
believe, isn't it?
yeah, that's his left knee. As the faithful right there, look at them. They're all not happy at all. Got to get a victory now. Got to sink these free throws for Bo.
Audrey Shaw, who is the trainer for CHS, is out there. And I'm not sure if Bo's going to be able to. Well, they're going to
Get up, yeah.
stand up, and they're going to help him off the floor.
Not
But,
liking that at all.
I don't know what he had a brace on that knee.
Yeah.
He's slowly coming off the floor.
Hate to see anything happen to him. You know, being a senior, this kid exploded onto the scene
Absolutely.
his freshman year, and you know, didn't look back. And he earned that spot, and he earned the start his freshman year. And
Right.
you know, that led the way for Garrett. That led the way for Noah. You know, Bo, trendsetter, and hate seeing him being, you know, pretty much carried off the floor.
Okay, Ron, where are we? We've got a free throw shooter by Connersville.
Yeah, Garrett is shooting the free throw.
10.8 seconds.
he's
Number
got two.
12, Garrett Silcott moves to the line.
Yeah, he's got 2 shots.
Garrett Silcott at the line. Bo Isaacs will bring him over to the bench. Boy, he isn't putting any weight on that leg.
Not at all.
Silcott's free throw is good. And the Spartans go up by a 57-55 score.
Well, that's nice right there. Definitely got to sink this one right here. Give us, you know, at least where we go into
Up
another.
and good. 58 Connersville, 55 Mount Vernon. Quickly up court. Ertl fires long,
That's
missing. The rebound taken by Lee of Connersville. Over to Braxton Lee.
They called
Braxton Reveley in the ball game. Foul called, and the Spartan fans going crazy with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Spartans lead by 3 points.
Reveley's got to sink it right here. Of course, 0.4 seconds to go. Reveley sinks it right here, and that puts us into the game. Friday is
Braxton Reveley moves to the line. Braxton came in off the bench, works in the guard spot. He's a 5'8" junior. Fires and misses the free throws, and I don't know what these guys had in their water to make them miss free throws.
Well, let's not drink it.
And it's been a team thing, just not one or two guys, but seems like everybody's missing from the free throw line. Braxton sinks that one in, though. makes it a 4-point ball game. A final shot by the team from Mount Vernon is way wide, goes into the stands, and this ball game is over. And the guys in the white shirts win 59-55 in overtime.
Wow.
Ron, you got any oxygen there with you?
No, I don't. I tell you, I was going to ask you. I tell you, Connorsville. This is one of those ball games where they got the jaws of they got victory out of the jaws of defeat. I mean, that's what happened there. Unbelievable.
Double overtime win for Connorsville, and they will stay alive in the sectional. And
we had every reason to lose that ball game. Every reason. Crazy.
Well, it's been a thrilling night, and I've got to talk to the winning coach here in a few minutes.
I don't know if he'll come out, but
well,
I've got scores.
I don't know either. He's Isaacs is walking off the floor a little better, limping, but he's unassisted anyway. That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's
got
a
to
good
get
sign.
him in here.
You have some scoring?
Yes, I do. For Mount Vernon, Michael Ertl had 11 points. Logan Smith, 13. Eric Shepard had 13. James McLeod, 10. And Damari Gatewood had 5 for the Mount Vernon Marauders. For the Connorsville Spartans, they were led by Grant Smith, 31 points. Hunter Solid-Barker had 3. Garrett Silcott had 14. Noah Belt, 4. Braxton Reverly, 1. And Bo Isaacs had 5 for the victorious Connorsville Spartans, who move on to play Richmond on Friday. Wow.
What do you want to talk about this game? I mean, what can we say?
Hey, we won. Let's be happy about
there
that.
You go. We won. We won despite poor free throw shooting.
Poor free throw shooting.
Poor rebound. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many pours. Again, we didn't deserve to win this ball game, but somehow these boys fought hard. They played well. They never stopped believing.
You're right. They don't give up. And I mean, you'll talk to Kerry Brown. He'll say, these kids play hard.
Yeah, they play very hard, and they play until it's time to stop playing.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, they're bound and determined they're going to win a ball game, and tonight it did not look good in times.
Not at all. It looked terrible at times. It looked like Mount Vernon was just a team of destiny, that Mount Vernon was going to spoil this 23-1 regular season, but it didn't happen. And the Spartans
they had a 10-point lead, and we weren't doing anything right, it seemed like.
No, not at all. But our defense picked up, Fran, and that's what was our defense, which is our signature. Our defense played very, very well. Unbelievable. I mean, you can overanalyze this, but just say, hey, we won, and we're going to play better next time.
Well, I think you put the best to describe this game. We won.
Yeah, we won. We won. That's all that matters.
Here's how the scoring went by quarters: 13-9 at the first break, 33-23 at halftime, 35-33 at the end of 3, and Mount Vernon had the lead at all those stops. In that fourth period, the Spartans outscored them by a couple of points, and we had a tie ball game of 46 at the end of regulation. After the first overtime, it was 50-50. After the second overtime, the final score, 59-55. As Mount Vernon goes down for the 9th time, and for the Spartans, that is victory number 24. They will play Friday night to take on a Richmond team in the opening of the semifinals of the sectional here at Newcastle. We got to congratulate our crew tonight again.
Yeah, great job as always.
Megan Murphy on cameras, along with Mitch Richardson, Jacob Bentley, and Joe Minrick. Our director, Devin Hamilton. Scoreboard graphics and audio was Justin Roberts and John Pauza. He's the executive director of TV3. We're on a thrilling night, and the Spartans will be playing in the sectional semifinals against Richmond come Friday night.
Can't wait. We're going to win that ball game. I feel it.
Maybe it won't be a double overtime. How about winning a ball game in 32 minutes of regulation play?
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody, that's the story from the Newcastle Fieldhouse tonight as the Spartans survive a real scare as they win over the Mount Vernon Marauders in double overtime, 59-55. For Ron Wiley, this is Fran Schommel, thanking you as always for watching Spartan Sports on TV3. Good night, everybody.